on.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, bye.
Bye.
When you say, because I know they don't want to hear, but be like, I got a bad case of runs, can't leave the bathroom, like, I'm sweating buckets over here, like, that was good though, babe. Let's do it again. Michael Scott. I feel like,
Don't
just
know.
like Michael,
No.
Scott. They might have. Yeah, I've seen Mrs. Scott. I've been seeing
If
the
they have the last name, then Scott. Sound really emotional.
emotional.
Heavy.
Talk like this. What? Sounds like.
For the runs?
Yeah, it runs out of my nose. Hi, it's Robert from the grocery department. I'm calling in sick for today. I'm not feeling well. It's Robert from the grocery department. I'm not feeling well. I need to call in sick for my shift today. Okay, you can call your manager on the phone. Thank you.
That's like a Michael Scott.
Sorry.
Change it to Michael.
No. Hi, it's Michael. I can't come in for my shift today. I'm not feeling well.
Michael?
Yes.
What department do you work in?
Seafood.
Seafood? Oh, 1 second.
Okay, thank you. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Hi, it's Michael. I'm just calling in for today. I can't come into my shift. It's Michael?
Yes.
I can't come in for my shift today. I start work at 4.
At what department?
This
is seafood.
Oh, I'm in dairy.
Okay. So you have to go by.
Okay.
Oh
What do you want me to do?
This is such a dumb video. It's not even funny.
You do it.
No, you're doing a good job. Continue.
No, I can't.
I'll get one.
I'm losing.
Oh, we gotta go grocery shopping today, too. Hi, this is Ashley calling. I'm calling because I can't make it into work tomorrow night. I have an ingrown toenail and I can't walk around. This is Ashley. Yeah, I have an ingrown toenail and it's not gonna be better by tomorrow. Yeah. I work there tomorrow night and my toe is like throbbing and I literally can't stand. Pardon? I have a schedule tomorrow at 7 p.m. I'm supposed to be in.
Why did you call in KFC?
Why did I call? Because I work there.
No, you don't work in KFC, Ashley.
No, I do work there. I was just hired last week, but I didn't know I'd get an ingrown toenail. I'd love to get... No! You guys aren't funny! You guys are just standard calling in sick.
I can legit hear you from here.
Okay, go next one. I'm gonna call him. So he doesn't like me back.
Thank you for calling Chapter Princeton. How can I help you?
Hi, this is Brianna. I have a shift scheduled for tonight that I'm not going to be able to make. Actually, I don't think I'll be able to come back at all because, so it's kind of embarrassing, but there's this guy there that I really like, and he doesn't like me back, so I'm gonna have to go to a different branch.
Okay, and you picked up the shift on Indigo Share?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not a manager, but I can, if you just, I can put you on hold and then you can speak to the manager?
Okay, no, honestly, I don't want them to know I'm in so much pain, like my heart is broken. And it's embarrassing. I don't want anyone to know that, like, my love for this guy. His name's Bruce.
His name is what?
His name's Bruce. He works there. He works in the books. I love books. We bond over books.
Okay, so
Yeah.
put you on hold and you can speak to a manager.
Okay, just don't give me to Bruce.
Okay, I will.
Don't give me to Bruce.
Okay,
I love that guy.
please hold.
Okay. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I'm sweating. I'm gonna puke. It's a gun. Bruce?
Good afternoon, Mr. Rob speaking.
Sure. I know that voice. I love Bruce. Are you sure? Oh my god, you sound just like Bruce. He's my future husband. Yeah, Bruce, he works there. He's gonna marry me.
No Bruce that works here.
Oh, believe me, there is. There's a
Alright, now
Bruce.
get there.
This is Ashley. I have a shift there today. I'm not gonna be able to make it because I told Bruce that I loved him and he doesn't love me back, so I decided I'd just like stalk him outside of work instead of inside work.
Okay, so sorry, you
I'm in love with Bruce. He doesn't love me back, so I have to quit. I'm so sorry. I love those books, but I love him more, and I just can't. My heart hurts so much. My heart hurts. I'm literally puking. My heart hurts so much.
for Bruce.
For Bruce. I love Bruce.
Yeah, Bruce Lord. Okay.
That Bruce. Love him.
Okay.
Yeah. Just don't tell him because, you know, he hates me.
And you're calling our store for what?
Because I can't come into work anymore because I love him and he doesn't love me.
That's upsetting.
It's so upsetting. Like, I've literally been crying all night. Are you sure this isn't Bruce? You sure you're not Bruce?
Pretty sure.
You sound like Bruce, man. I love me some Bruce.
That's definitely not.
I love me some Bruce.
You don't like Bruce.
We all love us some Bruce.
Pardon?
Bruce Springsteen. Gotta love that guy.
Sure.
I saw a book there with his name on it and I had to leave.
Alright.
My feelings took over me.
I think you'll get over it.
I don't know, we'll see.
Hope so.
Okay. Well, you have a good Bruce-filled day.
Okay.
And just make sure no girls flirt with that guy, because I love that guy. He's gonna marry me.
Alright, I think you're already married, but
Nope.
you're not. Okay.
I'll break them up.
Well, good luck with that.
Okay.
Alright.
Thank you.
For calling.
Okay.
Alright, bye.
Bye, Bruce. Oh my god. I'm sweating so much. I'm sweating.
I was cringing so much.
Okay, we're gonna do 2 more. Say, my goldfish died.
Hi, this is Ashley calling. I'm not going to be able to make it into work tonight. My fish actually just died, and it's not a big deal to a lot of people, but it is to me. Can I speak to someone who I can tell this to? Thank you.
That's so good, Jess. That's so good.
I don't even know what I'm doing anymore.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
Hi, this is Ashley calling. I have a shift tonight at 8 p.m. and I can't come in because my fish just died. We were really close. It's been 3 years. So I can't come in. Maybe in 2 days I can. I'll be ready by then. Hello? Did you fall? Hello?
Sweat buckets.
Hi, it's your English is Frank speaking. How may I help you?
It's not a great day for me. I'm not gonna be able to make it because I had some booster juice and it gave me the runs and I'm in the bathroom. I'm sweating buckets, man. I can't come in.
Okay.
I can't even. I don't even have toilet paper left. Like, I don't know what to do.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, I had some booster juice. I'm sweating buckets, bro.
Hope you feel better.
Thanks. actually living in the attic.
Frustrations locked inside of me. But today I kind of need to let those frustrations out, okay, in a story time format, because if I don't talk about it, I might explode, okay? Give me 2 seconds to just keep my cool though, okay? 1 second. Okay, so before I get into this very fun story time from my life, let's just acknowledge the background here. Yes, I did change the one from July because it is August in a couple days and I wanted to get ready ahead of time. Now, I'm not going to announce the winner of that backdrop just yet. I'm probably going to wait a couple weeks, but for now we have this beauty right here. It kind of reminds me of mermaid scales, but it's just like wall tiles or something like that. But I don't know if I've ever had turquoise behind me, so it's kind of cool. I'm just trying to like grasp onto things that make me happy right now because everything in my life, I have the worst luck. So for those of you that follow me on Twitter, you know what happened to me this past Friday. As I always say, if you want to know about the bad things that happen in my life before I post them on YouTube, follow me on Twitter because honestly, I rant there. Everything goes there first. So if you want to be in the loop, if you want to be in the know of all the crazy Jessie V stuff, definitely go to my Twitter. But for those of you who do not know what happened to me, I'm not going to spoil it just yet. I'm going to start from the very beginning of this story. Also, my shirt says 1971. Do I know why? No. Did something special happen that year that involves me? No. Do I know anyone personally that was born that year? No. Do I just like this shirt? Yes. Alright, so Friday morning when I woke up, I was feeling good, you know, fresh start. I was planning in my head what I was gonna do. I was gonna wake up, have some tea, have some cereal, then I was gonna do some working out.
But then we're gonna go to the park, we're gonna have a nice lunch there, make sure to be there on time.
And I was like, oh yeah. And as we're having this conversation, in my brain, I remember that I totally forgot to get my dad a birthday gift. I am a really great daughter. No, usually I'm on top of things. Usually I get gifts like 2 weeks before, and that way I don't have a rush leading up to the days of a birthday. It's like Christmas shopping. It's good to go like a month ahead of time. That way the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring except your brain saying, oh my gosh, I haven't bought the gifts yet. So my mom's talking to me on the phone, and the whole time I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I gotta go to the store. I have to go to the store. Now, my dad is a pretty easy person to shop for. He absolutely loves gardening and working on the backyard, so he either wants something for his garden / backyard, like patio lights, cool stuff to put in the garden, rocks in the shape of animals, just things for the backyard, or two, he wants a Blu-ray. My dad loves watching movies, he loves collecting movies, so I'm thinking in my head, okay, which direction do I want to go here? So until I get off work, I'm like, hey, I know we were thinking we're gonna relax, but we probably have to go to Walmart. Now, nothing against Walmart, but I try not to go there unless I absolutely have to. Speaking of stores, I feel like I look them right now, doesn't it? Like if you cover up the date here, it's like, hey, welcome to Payless. Payless is a shoe company in Canada. I don't know if they have it in the States or anywhere else in the world for that matter. It's so weird being a Canadian YouTuber because anytime I bring up a store or a place, all of you guys in the comments are like,
Jessie, we don't know where or what that is.
anyways though, like I said, I don't really like going to Walmart. Nothing against the actual stuff there. I just find like it's always so packed with people, and whenever I go there, I'm so overwhelmed. It's such a big building that there's so much to do inside there. I like going into stores that are small and compact. They're right to the point. There's like 3 shelves with items on it. You only have a small selection to pick from. Once you go to Walmart, you're like, there's like 47 aisles. Where do I start? So Ty was like, okay, why don't we keep Walmart as our last option? And first we'll go to like home hardware. We'll look for some really cool garden stuff for your dad. And I was like, cool. It's a smaller shop. It's way less crowded. We'll go there first and look for some garden stuff. So we get into my car. We drive there. We go inside. And there's really nothing that catches our eye. The only cool thing that I saw was a rock in the shape of a snail. That was really, really cute. And I was like, oh my gosh, my dad could put this rock snail in his garden. He would love it forever.
I just
I was like, Jess,
like really hard.
he's not gonna want a rock snail. I'm sorry, sweetheart. So I put the rock snail down, okay? And then I was like, okay, well, our only only other option is Walmart, so I guess I'm getting him a Blu-ray. And he's been talking about wanting to have the new Blade Runner movie forever, so Ty decided to get him the new Blade Runner movie,
Bro,
and I decided to get him
bump
the
now.
Quiet Place, A Quiet Place? Quiet Place. Whatever it's called, because he loves sci-fi movies, and I thought that movie was so suspenseful, I actually loved it. So we drive up to Walmart, and I'm the type of person that does not like to park beside people. I go to the far end of the parking lot where there's like 30 spaces with no one there, because I am always terrified that someone's gonna open their car door and hit my car, or drive by me and hit my car. And my car is white, so any small like hit from any car, their paint will show up on my car right away. So I am super like protective of my car, and also the fact that if it's ever damaged, I don't have the means or money to go fix it. So I park far away, but it's fine because I don't mind walking. Walking's not a big deal. So I park at Timbuktu, walk to Walmart, we find the two DVDs, and the really great part about this Walmart visit is I actually ran into a subscriber. It was this 14-year-old boy with his mom who came up to me, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, you Jessie B?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, yeah." I feel like I'm more excited than the actual people when I meet them because I just love meeting you guys. And like, I say this all the time, but if you ever see me in public and you're nervous to talk to me or you don't want to interrupt me, like, forget about all that. Like, just come right up to me and I will hug you forever. I will never let go. That sounds really scary. I would let go. I would. No, but they were talking to me for a while, and we took pictures together, and they were so nice, and like, that uplifted my mood so much. I was feeling great, had my dad's gifts. I was heading back out to the parking lot, and this is where my life gets fun. So I'm parked pretty far away, so the minute I walk out of Walmart, I can see the white blur of my car sort of far off in the distance. Keep in mind, I have really bad eyesight as well. So as we're getting closer and closer, and the blur is getting more clear and more clear, I can already sense there is something wrong. My car does not look the way it normally does. The blur is looking a little distorted and a little strange. And as I approach my poor car, and I'm right there, I might need 2 seconds to calm down again, okay? It appeared to me that while I was in Walmart getting my dad his 2 Blu-rays, someone had driven by my car, smashed into it, and then dipped. It was literally a hit and run. The whole driver's side to the front of my car was just like smashed up. Someone must have literally plowed into it. It wasn't like someone sort of drove by and sort of scraped it or like slightly backed into it and nudged it. It was like pushed in. The wheel was messed up. The front headlight was everything was messed up. And I remember just standing in front of it with my Walmart bag in my hand, and I just couldn't even speak. I was just like, "Ty, am I seeing what I think I'm seeing right now? Because I'm not feeling okay right now." And he was like, "Yeah, someone hit your car, and we don't know who they are or where they went." And this is the most frustrating part, guys, okay? Because if someone hit my car by accident, and I was in the car, and they stopped, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, here's my insurance information." Or if I was in Walmart, and they hit my car, and I wasn't there, and they left their information on my windshield, I get that accidents happen, and I feel like I wouldn't be as upset right now because people make mistakes. If they own up to them, if they apologize, if they deal with it the right way, I will be okay in the end. You know what I mean? I might be a little frustrated, but I'll... Guys, this is a video.
If we don't deliver this...
Get over it. But the fact that this person had the audacity to ram right into my car and not leave 1 ounce of information, they just left. I'm just, like, my life is a series of unfortunate events. Literally like that movie, like the Netflix show. They should have hired me to be in that show. So I had to arrive at my poor father's birthday, tell him the news. We had to call the insurance company, and they were like,
"Oh wait, we can't really help you unless you have a police report."
and I was like, "Oh, I probably should have done that." I just didn't really think to call the police because the person wasn't in sight, and it's like, what would they be able to do anyway? I was so far away from Walmart that the cameras wouldn't even have been able to see. So in my mind, I was like, the police are gonna show up, look at my car, and be like, "Oh, that sucks," sort of thing. So I never thought to call them, but the insurance people were like, "No, you should just go and file a police report, and that way my insurance company could help me a lot more with the damage and how much I have to pay." So this morning, I went run over to the police station, and I don't know why, but I'm always nervous doing that stuff. Like, I literally did nothing wrong in this situation, but something about going to a police station makes my heart race, and it could be because of all the stuff I had to deal with in high school, and that thing I still haven't told you about. I had to deal with police for like weeks and weeks and weeks, and the person that I was involved with had to go to jail and stuff, so jail and police stations and everything just freaked me out, and it gives me like flashbacks, even though this was literally not my fault at all. But I arrived there and I was like, help me please. And the lady was really nice, and I filed my police report, so now I'm just dealing with my insurance company, and it's so much. It's gonna take so much time to get it fixed. It's gonna take so much money, and like, between me, so I'm living on my own now. I have to pay for my house, my car, my food. That I really wanted to film this story time today, and I was thinking about it. I was like, should I tell this story? And I thought, like, yeah, why not? It's not really like one drawn out story, it's more like a few mini story times in one video, you know what I mean? You guys are used to this whole thing by now. Also, do you like my sweatshirt? I don't even remember what it says, to be honest. Can I read upside down? Proud supporter of messy hair and sweatshirts. Because as you can see, I got the messy hair down, and now the sweatshirt's off. I actually found this under my bed the other day, so totally forgot I had it. Not too sure how long it was under there, but I have it now, and it's comfy, and I'm glad I found it. This is why my intros are so long, guys, because I yabber on about the most meaningless things. Anyways, though, the next thing I'm going to be announcing is not meaningless because it is the winner of the backdrop before this backdrop. Actually, it was 2 backdrops for 1 winner, and her name is, and I'm not too sure if I'm pronouncing this right, it's either Kiara or Kira. I'm not too sure which one it is. If it's Kira, that reminds me of Lion King, which is pretty cool. But I'll put her username right here. Girl, you have won 2 backdrops, which is a really rare thing for me to do. So congratulations. The code was never steal haunted dolls. And I saw a lot of people putting haunted dolls never steal, which I guess could have worked as well, but that wasn't the answer. That was not the one I was seeking. Thanks to everyone who sent that in. And now, because that contest is done, now we're gonna see if you guys want to enter for this one right behind me, this really crazy floral orange one. If you want to enter this backdrop right now, there are going to be 5 code words in the 5 previous videos to this one. So 5 code words, 5 videos before I posted this one. All the words are going to be down at the bottom of the descriptions. Once you have all the code words written out, make it into a sentence, come back to this video and comment it down below, and then you will be entered. And I will be announcing the winner sometime in July, probably towards the end of the month. Oh, also, you gotta be subscribed to this channel, which is kind of like an obvious thing. But yeah, go, 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 go. Or just like wait till this video's over and then go, 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 go. Okay, so in yesterday's video, I mentioned that since moving here, I've had a lot of just really strange people coming to my front porch and either like ringing my doorbell or talking to me, or just really strange things happen on my porch. And it's actually really great that I have a security camera at the front of my house because, for one, when I first moved in here, I was living all by myself, and it's just like a safety thing that when someone knocks on my door or rings my doorbell, I can first check my camera to see who it is. If I don't recognize them, then I just didn't open the door. And now that Ty is living with me, I feel a lot safer, but we still keep those cameras outside my house just in case something happens. For example, the doll is getting stolen. I don't know why. I still don't know why that happened. But anyways, I have a few things that I wrote down on my phone that have happened since I've moved in here that have to do with just people randomly showing up. So the very first month that I moved in here, so last June, oh my gosh, I've been living in this new house for over a year now. Isn't that insane, guys? I feel like I just moved in here. Like, how time goes so fast. Anyways, though, the first month that I moved in here, I was all by myself. Ty was living with his parents, and they lived about 25 minutes away, so he was close, but not like super close. So I was living here alone, and the second week that I was here, my doorbell rang at 9 p.m. Now, I found that that was a really random time for someone to be ringing my doorbell because no one really sells things
after probably 7 p.m., generally people just don't bother you after dinner and onward because sometimes people go to bed early, they might have kids they're putting to bed. Like ringing a doorbell past 8 p.m., let's say, is a very weird occurrence, or at least I think so in my opinion. Like I remember back when I lived with my parents, there was this one night, probably 3 years ago, where a guy rang our doorbell at 12:30 in the morning, 12:30 a.m. And my dad went down and answered it, and it was like one of Mandy's guy friends, and he was just standing there like, hey, just wanted to see if Mandy wanted to come out and hang. And it was a school night, 12:30 a.m. My dad looks at him and then just like shuts the door in his face. Like, dude, what are you doing? And it wasn't even a guy that Mandy knew that well. Like when my dad told her the next day, she was like, I barely even know him. I've maybe hung out with him like 3 times at school. So it was just really sketchy, but it just shows you like people don't do it. Anyways, let's get back to my story. I'm a bit sidetracked. So 9 p.m. my doorbell rings and I check my security camera and it's this guy standing there in a, what are those things called? Like the bright orange vest with the yellow crosses on it. It's like a crossing guard, like construction vest or something like that. And he was just standing in front of my door waiting for me to open it. And of course I didn't because that's just really random. And then every single night at 9 p.m. since then, he would show up just right at 9 p.m. and ring my doorbell. So about 7 days of this went by, and whenever he'd come to my door, I'd like call Ty and I'd be like, he's here again. I don't know what he wants. So after the 7th day, Ty started to get really freaked out, and he said, next time he comes to your door, just call the police because it's just too random. And Ty was worried that this guy was ringing my doorbell at 9 p.m. each night to see if anyone was home at that hour, because sometimes when people want to rob your house, they test to see what time the homeowners are home, and then when they know no one's answering the door, they assume the person's not home, and then they take that opportunity to like rob the house. So Ty was worried that this guy was testing to see if someone would come to the door, and because I wasn't, he thought maybe this guy would show up the next time and break in. And it's just weird because after that 7th day, suddenly he just stopped, and I never saw him again. I never had to call the police, but it was like this 9 p.m. on the dot, this guy was coming to the doors. And I even asked my neighbors around me, like, was he ringing your doorbell? And they were like, no. So it was only mine. It was just really weird. So that was the first weird thing that happened. And then let's move on to Halloween. I can't remember if I told you guys this story, and I don't mean for it to come off like rude or anything like that, but on Halloween, usually I'll answer the door when kids come to the door and I'll hand out candy. And I'll usually get like dressed up in a costume and make it super fun and decorate my house and stuff like that. So the Halloween that just passed, it was the first Halloween that I was handing out candy at my new house in my new neighborhood. And maybe this was silly of me to assume, but I just thought that no one in my neighborhood or around me would know that I was a YouTuber, would know that I was Jessie B. I thought they'd just think that I was just a normal human handing out candy, which is like what I am anyways, but I didn't think that anyone would like just come to my house thinking that I was like Jessie B or something. So trick-or-treaters started coming around, I would say 6:30 p.m. and I was still getting my coffee makeup all together, so when I heard there was a bunch of kids at the door and they were like, is this Jessie B's house? Like, please tell me this is her address. Like, is this where she lives? And as much as I love you guys, that sort of thing freaks me out when people want to confirm if it's my address, because I know I'm not like famous or like super popular announced to the world, because yes, like kids are, but if my, or there's someone who wants to like kidnap me or something, I just never want my address being given out or known anywhere. So in that moment, Ty just was sort of flabbergasted and he was like, no, this is not her address, because I think he also thought about that as well. So I decided that night not to give out candy because I didn't want anyone to know it was my house, and literally almost every kid that came to the door, they were like, is this Jessie B's house? I was told this is where she lives. And Todd kept having to say no. And now that I'm saying this, people probably know it was my house. But I don't know, I just get so much anxiety over that. Like, I love meeting you guys so much, but not like at my house, you know? I know so many YouTubers have made story times and rants about this, where your house is your private place. It's where you're supposed to feel safe. And then anywhere outside of your house, you know, you're so happy.
Affordable birth control means healthier families, brighter futures, a stronger economy.
else. I hate calling them fans. You guys are my family. So Halloween was just crazy because it was just mobs at the door asking for Jesse B. And I was like, I love you. One time, it actually wasn't too long ago, just a couple months ago, where a moving van was parked right outside of my driveway. Like, it was literally blocking my driveway. And I work from home and my car is always in the garage, so a lot of the time it doesn't look like anyone is home. So when I saw the moving truck at the bottom of my driveway, I was sort of weirded out, like, why are they blocking my driveway? And there were just these two guys sitting in the moving van, just like looking at my house, looking up at the window. Actually, someone that Ty knows, their house was robbed, and it was because a moving van parked at their house when they were at work, and then they started they broke in the house and started moving all the furniture and everything they wanted to steal. They started moving it into the van, and they were dressed as movers. So everyone else in the neighborhood who saw this thought it was normal because they had a moving van, they were dressed in uniforms. It looked like they were supposed to be doing that, but that's how they planned it. They planned it that way so no one would be concerned, which is like so sitting in this van. And Ty freaked out and he came home from work and he sorted it all out and they left eventually, but he was also freaked out just like I was. And I don't know, maybe we're just really paranoid people and we shouldn't be, but I think, and you guys know, I've had so many bad things happen to me in my life that the smallest little things just I get so much anxiety over it. And then I'm just going to talk about one last thing that actually happened a few days ago, and it's been happening the last 3 days. And it's probably nothing, but it's so whenever anyone is sort of lingering on my porch, I just screenshot it just in case something happens later and I have to report it or whatever. So if any creepers watching, I have cameras around my house, so be careful. So these two men have been coming to my house at 7 a.m. for the past 3 days. And it's